So the PlayStation 5 is coming out soon, and I do think I'm actually going to be getting it on launch. I've never gotten a console on launch for the record, and I'm usually the type of consumer to play the old console for a few years until the new console finally goes on sale, and I give in and finally purchase it. But when all these other consoles launched, I was broke as a joke. And this year I actually have more purchasing power than ever, so you bet your pretty little buns I'm going to say screw it and drop this $400 bomb. Thank God I didn't buy a Nintendo Switch during the midst of the pandemic like I wanted to. I saw that Animal Crossing and almost cracked, but then I realized I'm not a 7-year-old girl. Did you all see that presentation that Sony just put on? Just, mwah, chef's kiss. Did those graphics not get everyone else wet? I'm personally going to be getting the PlayStation without the disc drive because I never really bought physical games for my PlayStation 4, so why should I spend the extra $100 this time around? Also, I just wanted to mention to all the broke Xbox fanboys that only real men play PlayStation. When the only selling point of your console is that it's $100 cheaper, I don't think that's a very good sign. I've always been a man of the culture. I've never owned a single Xbox, I'm loyal, I've owned every PlayStation ever, and whenever I went to other people's houses and played on their Xbox, the controller was like using a spaceship controller. Oh, you like the PlayStation controller? You must have such small hands. I just have never been able to understand why they would ever put this analog stick up here instead of down here. Don't worry though, here come all the Xbox fanboys to tell me exactly why it's there. Quite simply, PlayStation is going to be a lot more popular in the future than Xbox. Even my homies who were Xbox for life admitted they'll likely jump ship for this console cycle. These are guys who've been playing Xbox for the last 20 years. And despite cross-platform becoming more and more popular, honestly the Xbox kinda seems like the redheaded stepchilds of the gaming community, seeing that they almost never get exclusive titles, and a lot of times they're left out of cross-platform. You know, when you're still relying on the game that took the world by storm 20 years ago, something is wrong. The Spider-Man series, including this sick-ass Miles Morales gameplay Sony dropped on their showcase the other day, is enough to have me invested in the Sony exclusives. Throw in MLB The Show, Uncharted, and a couple of other premier titles exclusive to Sony, and they're kicking Microsoft's ass across the floor. Every game Sony showed off the other day looked amazing. That fact combined with the new PlayStation Plus collection that's coming with the PlayStation 5 launch, and to me it's well worth the money compared to the Xbox. Honestly, these PlayStations are going to be competing with a lot of the gameplay you'd see on a PC, and they have the correct hardware in place to prepare for wherever the future of gaming will take the PS5. Microsoft, on the other hand, has some of the worst, most complicated ideas for marketing for both their product and subscription service that I've ever seen. They basically want you to put this shit on layaway and pay $34.99 a month for 24 months to eventually pay off this Xbox Series X and to have their subscription service. So there's the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, the Xbox S, the Xbox X. You know, it was a great idea to name your two new products almost exactly the same. Good going, Microsoft, you idiots. I mean, the average old man going to buy a kid the latest game console isn't gonna know what the fuck they're looking for. I saw a tweet that said whoever decides to name the PlayStation 2 the PlayStation 2 instead of some other shit like the PlayStation 96 honestly deserves a raise because they made everything so much more simple than the Xbox. It's like Apple with all their Roman numerals. What was wrong with the numbers? The iPhone XII? Get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit. And on top of the stupid name, the Xbox honestly looks like a Nike shoebox. Does the PS5 look like a router? Absolutely. But this is like comparing the black Air Forces to the white ones. One represents degenerates while the other represents bosses. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. The bottom line is that extra $100 isn't gonna keep me from getting what I want. I know my audience, and a lot of you sick fucks are about to be doing the most to get your hands on the latest and greatest console in these streets. Stay safe out there, my soldiers. I also hope you realize most of this video is a joke, and I'm a PlayStation fanboy. Bye!